Today we're dedicating the 330th star on the Palm Springs Walk of Stars. We're honoring Dorothy Dale Kloss. Now, Dorothy Dale Kloss's career and achievements certainly merit receiving a star. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Council Member Jenny Fote.
Wow, what a great turnout. What an honor. Can you believe it? Oh my God. And what more appropriate place than to have it in front of what is Palm Springs but the Falls. Whereas in conjunction with the ceremony, the citizens of Palm Springs will pay tribute to Dorothy Dale Kloss, whose illustrious career has added significantly to the world prominence of this beautiful desert oasis. And whereas Dorothy Dale Kloss began dancing when she was 3 years old, and whereas in 2009, at the age of 85, that's a typo. Dorothy Dale Kloss was billed in the Guinness Book of World Record as the oldest still performing showgirl in the world. She has been performing at the fabulous Palm Springs Follies, where she is a regular, long-legged lovely for the past 14 years. By the power vested in me, do hereby proclaim May 29th, 2010 to be Dorothy Dale Kloss Day.
Our next presenter is a Palm Springs Walk of Stars director. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Clancy Grass.
And today I have the pleasure of representing the California State Senate and the legislature. So they picked the biggest guy to represent the big two here. I won't read what's on here. I will simply say that as we, the Senate and the legislature, is very impressed with you, with what you've done. I'm impressed with the way you look. And it is truly my pleasure to give these to you. You stay right there.
Thank you, Clancy Grass. Our next speaker has been on the cover of Life magazine, played the Tooth Fairy on Captain Kangaroo. She performed in both burlesque and vaudeville, and before discovering the musical theater, toured with the Spike Jones Orchestra for 2 years as featured vocalist and tuba player. She went on to play every named nightclub that existed through the 1950s and 60s, including the Bonsoir, the Blue Angel in New York, the Hungry Eye in San Francisco, and Mr. Kelly's in Chicago.
How about Broadway?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kay Ballard.
All I can say is it's about time. Because no one deserves this more than Dorothy Dale Kloss. No one. You know, she started dancing at 3 without taps on her feet. That's amazing. She's the most amazing person I know. I really mean it. She's got it all. Here she is, her age, and I'm not far behind.
That's true.
To think that at this age, she can sing and she can dance. She's got a wonderful partner in Ken Prescott. She's never gotten a raise and still goes on. I think that's quite remarkable. And she still drinks. So Dorothy, with all my heart, I'm so thrilled that you're here, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. I wouldn't. Cheers, my darling. And she's the best.
Thank you, Kay Ballard.
Thank you, darling. Oh, this is like Christmas.
Our next speaker is a two-time Grammy Award winner. She has recorded such hits as Fever, We're All Alone, One Fine Day, Your Love Has Lifted Me Higher and Higher, The Way You Do the Things You Do, All Time High, Superstar, and so many other memorable tracks that topped the charts from the 1970s onward. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the lovely Rita Coolidge.
She looks better in a pair of jeans than any of my other girlfriends, including myself. And keeping up with Dorothy as she clips down the street in high heels is something that is also, you know, it's a measure of her spirit and her youth. I really felt that when I came to Palm Springs and had the experience with the Follies, that wonderful experience, but deep in my heart, when Dorothy and I bonded the way we did, like sisters, I really felt like that God had sent me here for her, to meet Dorothy and to become a part of her life and to miss you like I do when we are just so far away. I think of you every day, Dorothy. Dorothy has been, she's been such an inspiration to my heart and to my body and to my spirit, and I'm able to share that with people all over the world. When I talk about my friend Dorothy, the most amazing dancer, and I think the most wonderful thing about Dorothy, besides her her physical fitness and her sense of humor, that Dorothy never stays anywhere very long. If anything gets dark, if anything gets sad, she moves away from it, and she gives that advice to me as a friend. She just says, kiddo, I am kiddo. She says, kiddo, you just got to just get through it. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And I have found a new way of living as a result of my friendship with Dorothy. Nobody deserves this more than you do, Dorothy. I love you.
Our next speaker is a Palm Springs Walk of Stars director. She is listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the original hostess of Wheel of Fortune. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the lovely, the beautiful Dr. Susan Stafford.
Grateful I am to be here. Rita, you really speak from the heart, don't you? Yeah, and it's really felt.
That's why we're friends.
Yeah, I can see why you're here. Dorothy, I didn't even know I was going to get a chance and the honor to say anything, but I like very much what Jenny said, which is you don't look your age, darling.
Oh, God, I love you.
No, but it's the truth, you know, and the truth is the truth. We are grateful, and it was interesting when everybody was voting, our board here, and they were all voting, and it was like, oh yes, anybody's got that get up and go. We're so grateful that you're here, and thank you for teaching us as much as you've been teaching us since we met you, and God bless you mightily. Congratulations.
Our next speaker is a popular radio talk show host, is known for his biting social commentary. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Bill Bulldog Feingold.
That's right. I dressed up because this is radio. Dorothy, well, Dorothy's a bitch. She told me Tuesday, but in a nice way. Tuesday night she came to Dinks and I said I'm coming in a Hawaiian shirt and jeans, and she said you wear a frickin' suit. So I'm here. Dorothy, you don't know this. I moved to Palm Springs 11 years ago. 10 years ago I came to the Follies. I sat through all 5 hours, and I brought my Aunt Mildred, should rest in peace, and you knocked my socks off. And I always thought if I could meet somebody like you, I'd be thrilled, because you were fabulous. And now, luckily, we have a talk show, and Kay Ballard's here. Kay is one of our favorite people, because we like to have people that when I say hello, I don't have to say anything for an hour. Kay is good for an hour and a half. Dorothy is good for 3 hours. I mean, you are so talented, so wonderful, and I'm so happy that I can call you a friend.
Oh, you bet.
Kevin would be here, except he doesn't care about other people. So I'm here to tell you that we love you, and Ken, big question mark. And we love Ken. No, but you do such a great job. I know you're moving on to other things, and you'll announce it on our show, right? Yes. So Dorothy, I love you.
Please welcome Mr. Alan Bregman.
Dorothy, it's indeed a real pleasure to be able to present you with the Palm Springs Walk of Stars that you can wear. And I had to keep you cool in the summer.
Okay. This won't take long.
About an hour and a half. I don't get a chance to do this exactly. Yeah, I don't get a chance to do this very often.
Well, we can do it again.
We won't be right back. That was Mark Griffin's.
Oh, we got it.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. John Bolivar.
On behalf of the board, we'd like to present you, anytime you long to see your star, you can just put this on the wall.
I'm Shirley's
Thank you, John Bolivar.
Oh, thank you, John. Oh, gosh.
Our next presenter is also a Palm Springs Walk of Stars director. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Charles Dunn.
Dorothy, I just found out today that you and I have something very much in common, and that is vodka. Vodka. I have occasionally had vodka, and I hear that you have.
Just occasionally?
Yeah, and our latest sponsor, in fact, you're the first recipient of a star to receive a bottle of the Star Vodka.
As it says on the bottle, Dorothy, your star will shine forever.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charles Dunn. Our next speaker has starred in, directed, choreographed, and produced productions across America. Some of his productions include Old Faces of 2002 with Kay Ballard. He played Billy Lawler on Broadway in 42nd Street. He has sung with the new modern airs. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Ken Prescott.
Remember Red Skelton? He was one of my favorite comedians and a very quick wit. Harry Cohn, movie mogul, was head of 20th Century Fox and noted for his less than cheery personality and stunning demeanor. So when he passed away, there were about 3,000 attendees at his funeral. Red was asked to speak, and when he got up, he said, "You see, it just goes to show you, give them what they want, they'll come every time." Well, this is certainly a different kind of celebration. I hope so. One of life, of love, achievement, but the result is the same. Give them what they want, and they certainly will come every time. And Dorothy Dale Kloss has given them what they want for 86 years. As a daughter, sister, wife, mother, friend, mentor, teacher, and one singularly talented dancer and entertainer, she has filled everyone she has touched with joy and excitement. Yes, she has. For the past 15 years, Dorothy not only starred in the fabulous Palm Springs Follies, she has earned a reputation as a fantastic tap dancer, an inspiring entertainer, and a true force of nature, as Riff quipped so candidly. She has millions of fans all over the world, and her beauty, enthusiasm, and talent have brought them in droves each season to marvel at her abilities and achievements. I'm sure most of you have seen her in the Follies and perhaps even read her bio. I want to share some facts about her life that are an enormous contributing factor in making this star so deserved by this truly special lady. She started dancing at 3 in St. Louis, moved to Chicago, and at 8 was enrolled in Madame Ludwig's ballet school. Then she went to Comerford's dancing school, where she danced and taught with a very young Bob Fosse. She and Bob, and Bob's partner Charlie Grass, toured and played all the local venues, the Elks Clubs, you know, Knights of Pythias, and so forth. But Dorothy, being ever one to want to achieve more, saw an ad in the Chicago Tribune showing the glamorous Mariel Abbott dancers and decided, you know, that's what I want to be. So, now you see, Dorothy's mom, Alice, had a beauty shop in her apartment where she worked from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. for 25-cent finger waves, leaving no time to investigate dance lessons or anything else for that matter. And Dorothy's dad had died at 39, so with 3 kids to raise, Alice had to make a living. So fortunately, unfortunately, but really fortunately, it left the investigation to Dorothy. So Dorothy hopped on the bus and went down to Chicago Loop, found out what it was all about. She came back and told her mom, she said, well, you know, it's gonna cost $15 a month. And her mother said, well, we've saved up for 3 months, we'll see what happens. Well, Dorothy didn't have to wait long because a tap teacher, Bobby Rivers, said, you're going to win a tap contest, and she won it. And she went into the wash line at the Palmer House. Now, the wash line was a line of dancers that if one of the regular girls didn't do well, you got in the line. Well, sure enough, Dorothy got in. But she had to do acrobatics. Now, I don't mean cartwheels, I mean flips and back handsprings. And this was a little daunting to Dorothy, but Mariel Abbott said, learn them if you want in. So in 2 weeks, Dorothy learned a back handspring. She went in to show Miss Abbott in the ballet class, and Miss Abbott said, okay, Dorothy, go ahead, show the class. Dorothy wound up and did the handspring. And Mariel turned to the class and said, you see, she's got spunk. What's the matter with the rest of you? Spunk. She had spunk. She still has spunk. Plenty of it. How do you think she held her own for all those years? And that spunk, we'll call it joie de vivre, enthusiasm, and love of what she does, has seen her through many a situation. You all know kinds of performers that love their craft and kinds of performers that love their self-grandizement. Well, Dorothy is the former. She loves her craft. The minute she hits the stage, it lights up, it gets brighter and brighter until she exits. And unfortunately for others, well, they seem to pale in comparison. Now, besides her many accomplishments as a dancer, she took time out to get married and have a son, Craig, and her 2 granddaughters, Jamie and Megan, are here today, and we're so glad they're here. She did a lot of things before she came to the Follies. She was taught dance at the Academy of the Sacred Heart for 12 years in Chicago. She was head of 2 art galleries. She headed the guest relations at the Oaks of Pasadena. She headed guest services at the Queen Mary, and then came the Follies. And weren't we lucky? We were. With legs like Betty Grable, actually, she says, a gift from my mother, and a smile that could light up the New York skyline, with charm and wit and lightning quick, and taps that can be heard without mics throughout theaters, Dorothy has and will continue to wow audiences near and far, everywhere and in between. What makes someone unique and special is not just dance lessons, shuffle ball changes, vocalizing, or a few pithy moments at Actors Studio, but the challenges, triumphs, the heartbreaks, achievements that form character and strength and give you wisdom and insight, which translates into a dynamic and bravura performance that audiences cheer. It's that mysterious presence known as star quality, and as we all know, Dorothy has just that. But she also has star quality in her personal life, with her family, her friends, her acquaintances, everyone she meets. She touches them with warmth, with sincerity, and niceness that is rare, and a sense that they are important, and a sense they really matter. That is the truth. Many people have contributed to Dorothy's star, and many are here today, and I want to acknowledge some of them. I know she is truly grateful to all of you for the support you've given her. But the 2 people who spearheaded the event, were so generous in hosting the fundraiser and were very substantial contributors to the star. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to our two dear friends, Lisette and Boyd Hagelin. Stand up, stand up. Where's Lisette? Where's Lisette? There she is, right over there. Kudos to Marilyn Mitchell also for her wonderful, wonderful article in the Desert Entertainer. It was just terrific. Just terrific. I also want to thank, I want to thank my friend Kate Ballard, the consummate performer.
I didn't know you were raising money. Of course, I haven't worked for 18 months. What I do.
Kate Ballard is available for bar mitzvahs and anything else, okay? And I want to thank a marvelous singer. She is a doll. I know you probably don't think of her as a doll, but I do. A marvelous singer, super gal, Miss Rita Coolidge. Bill Feingold, who of course I spelled his name wrong. I'm a Goyim, what do you want? Bill Feingold, a great talk show host, just wonderful. Bill, take a bow, baby. I want to thank Susan Stafford so much. The board on the Walk of Stars, to Robert Alexander for your support and for your kindness and everything that you've done for Dorothy. Before they get the hook for me, let me set the record straight. Dorothy resigned from the Palm Springs Follies just a week ago. Can she still dance? Yes. Can she still do 9 shows a week? Yes. Can she still bring them to their feet? Yes. She did so the very last performance of the Follies in the middle of the show. It was just wonderful. She got a standing ovation, but there are some fantastic opportunities waiting for her, and I'm not at liberty to say at present, but you will all know soon enough. She's writing a book called Still Clicking My Heels at 86, 87, 88, ... Love, Dorothy. Okay. Here are 2 of her favorite sayings I'd like to share with you. Life happens when you're making other plans, and people are so concerned with dying they forget to live. I could go on, and I have, but I had to. I wanted you all to know how fantastic this woman truly is, why I have never, ever known or heard of anyone that deserves her very own star as much as she. The Guinness Book of Records says in 2009 she's the oldest living working showgirl in the world. The world hails her as a fantastic tap dancer and entertainer and one great gal. She was the most hit interview on the AARP website. She's been featured on The Today Show, in Russia, a full page in the National Examiner, in newspapers and magazines around the world. Steve Pounier declared January 15th, 2009 is Dorothy Dale Kloss Day, and they made her a Kentucky colonel, which gives new meaning to you can't get a man with a gun. And so much more I can't even count. Oh, I forgot one important thing. She's a colon cancer survivor of 22 years. And now, the newest recipient of her very own star in the Palm Springs Walk of Stars, ladies and gentlemen, it is with honor, pride, joy, love, and enormous admiration I present the lady of the minute, hour, day, week, month, year, and of a lifetime, Miss Dorothy Dale Kloss!
Long-winded, isn't it? Well, I'm short, though. You know. Anyhow, sure. Well, you know, I have cataracts. You know, and so I have to have something. Thank you, darling. You really look great today. Anyhow, well, it took me 86 years, but I finally made it. You know? Yeah. A little applause. Yeah. Finally made it. Yeah. But this is the most exciting day of my life. I really have to say that. Outside of the birth of my son, you know, of course, giving birth to my son, this is a lot less painful. So, you know, but to all of my dear friends who are here, and to all you people that just happened to stop by and had no place to go today, it was really lovely to have you here, and I'm so glad you came. But, you know, in the time I've been here in Palm Springs, there are many people that touched my life. And I wasn't the only one who was touching, you know. And I just like to read a few names off, and I'll be very quick, as I always say. But the people that the very beginning, I wouldn't be standing here right now if it hadn't been for Lisette and Boyd. They have been the best. I mean, you know, the most wonderful thing, besides Mr. Prescott also, but they had the most wonderful fundraiser, because I have no money, you know, and we needed people with money, and they found them. Wasn't that just wonderful? Yeah, they found them. You want to know who they are? No, anyhow, and so they found all these wonderful people, and they came to the party, and we raised it in one night. You know, and you were there, weren't you? Yes. In one night we raised it, and that's the reason we were able to get the star. And so, Lisette and Boyd, I love you both. You're just terrific people, and we'll always be friends. Okay? And when I need another star or something, I'll talk to you. Kay Ballard, what can I say? Kay, look me over, lend me an ear. I love you, Kay Ballard. No, I love you. We had so much fun backstage all the time, and we became really good friends. Kay would do anything in the world for you, and my gosh, every program she ever got on, she would always bring up my name. Now, that's friendship. And she'd say, you know, that Dorothy Kloss, you know, she's a great dancer. Of course, I had to agree with her, but, you know, no ego in me. Anyhow, so thank you, darling, for coming and speaking for me. And then we have Rita Coolidge, my best new friend. And we're going to be friends forever. We had the best time together. I mean, I love girlfriends. You know, it's fun. You can talk to them about anything. You think I'm too old for that, don't you? Well, that's not true. And then, of course, thank you, Rita. I love you more every day. And then, Bill Bulldog, Feingold, with the golden tongue. I must say, who, as you know, has his own radio show and is absolutely hysterical. And I love being on it because he lets you say whatever you want in the way you want to say it, you know? And of course, Bill, you're the best. I love you, darling. And then thanks to Bob Alexander. Oh my gosh, Bob, you've done so much for me, darling, and I want to thank you and the board from the Walk of Stars. You were just wonderful. I just want to say I'm so thrilled to have my two granddaughters here. I've talked about them for years in the show. Stand up, girls, and say hello. Jamie! Thank you. There's two other people here, only I can't find her. My darling niece and her husband, Richard. There she is back there. And she can't be in the sun. And I love that girl. I helped raise her. And she's just the best. And she's always there for me, too. So, hi, kids. Now, I'm almost finished here. But now I have a very important man in my life. Yeah. Who has been giving me the incentive for staying alive. Staying alive. I love you, Ken Prescott. Where are you? Where did he go? Come here. This man has been so good to me and has done such wonderful things for me. He's always there, you know, and I just wanted to tell him how much I love and care for him, you know, and we've had some great times, haven't we? Yes. And now I'm going to sign off. I guess you're saying thank God. But anyhow, it's the bewitching hour. You know, it's after 5 o'clock. And And you know, it's always after 5 o'clock somewhere in the world, isn't that true? That's true. See, Rita knows. And so I see a little vodka in my future. Very soon. So with love, Dorothy. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dorothy Dale Kloss, for allowing us to honor you today. And now, without further ado, thank each and every one of you for coming today. And the reason that we're all here is for the unveiling of the 330th star on the Palm Springs Walk of Stars, Dorothy Dale Kloss.
It's almost like church. You want to try to go over there?
On the count of 3. 1.
Here, Meg, try and make a video.